Hey everyone, welcome to another live. Today we are going to be talking about mental health and fitness. So, for the next 30 minutes, I'm going to be talking around mental health and fitness. If this is the first time that you guys have seen me, my name is Ross. I'm based in London. I've got over a decade of experience in the health and fitness space. I've been running these TikTok live sessions since the start of January. So around coming up to 8 weeks now. I've been running my fitness account for around 7 to 8 months. And it's my pleasure to run these TikTok lives, all based around the most popular fitness topics. So if you guys have got any fitness related questions, please put them in the comments as we're running through. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you guys have. If you guys are liking the live and you're finding it valuable, please like the live so I know that you guys are receiving value from the session. But today, what we're going to be talking about is mental health and fitness. I wanted to raise this topic because I think this is massively overlooked when it comes to fitness. Fitness is fantastic for getting into shape and getting fit and, losing body fat and, building confidence. But I think a lot of people massively overlook the mental health benefits when it comes to getting into shape. A lot of people think fitness is only about losing weight or building muscle, but honestly, one of the biggest benefits is what it does for your mind. Exercise can reduce stress, improve your mood, and help you feel confident. So what we're going to talk about today over the next 30 minutes is how fitness affects mental health. We're going to talk about small habits that help your mindset and how to stay motivated. I know at the moment we're moving into the summer period, so everyone is getting a little bit more motivated. But what I'm going to share with you over this live is some great tips to stay motivated. Because look, let's be honest with everyone who's watching this. We don't feel motivated all of the time to exercise and to get fit, or even in general, right? We just sometimes get out of the wrong side of the bed and we're not feeling great. However, what we're going to move into first as the first topic is why fitness helps mental health. So one reason exercise helps mental health is because it releases endorphins, which are basically chemicals in the brain that make you feel better. I don't know if you guys can relate. Probably a lot of you guys who are watching this can. But have you ever felt like not going to the gym? You end up going and then you feel so much better afterwards. That is all down to your body releasing endorphins, which are basically chemicals in your brain that make you feel better. That's why after a workout, after you've took yourself to the gym or you've done some exercise at home, that's why you generally feel happier, you feel less stressed, and you feel more focused. Fitness also helps because it gives you structure and routine. When life feels overwhelming, have something positive like a workout or a walk can really reset your mind. So just as a quick question for you guys watching, do you guys mainly exercise for the physical health or for your mental health? So guys, put questions, comments in the chat. If you guys are liking the live, please let me know so I know you guys are getting value from the session. Also, as well, if you guys are joining late, you guys can catch all of my previous lives on my YouTube channel. I have got them on there as well if you guys want to take a look at those. So what we've covered first is why fitness helps mental health. Next, we're going to be talking about stress and life. So outside of the gym or outside of getting fit, let's be real, life can get stressful. Work, money, responsibilities, relationships, all these things can affect your mental health. So it's not just as cut as dry as going to the gym every day and feeling super motivated. We all have things in our life that can make or cause us more stress. One thing I've learned is that movement helps you process stress. Even simple things like taking a walk outside can clear your mind. And this is why, for exercise and doing regular exercise, is so important. And I think I've said this across my TikToks a few times, that walking is so underrated. Walking is so important, because if you can wake up in the mornings, do a morning walk, get some sunlight in your eyes, that gets you all ready to start the day. Have another walk at lunch, and then have another walk in the evenings. That is so good, especially if you're stressed, also for your mental health as well. So guys, if you are just joining, what we're talking about at the moment is mental health and fitness. So we're just talking about real life and stress. So we're talking around work, money, responsibilities, relationships, all these things that can affect your mental health. But fitness is really great for helping you process stress, even doing simple walks such as, a 10 to 15 minute walk in the mornings, at lunch and in the evenings is really important. Trust me, I'm telling you, I feel it. Stress with the mortgage. Life is difficult. So look, I think we all can relate when it comes to getting stressed out. And sometimes when we all get stressed out, we prioritize and put things on the back burner, which is not great, because what we should be doing as a priority is focusing on ourselves and trying to de-stress. And that's why fitness and exercise is so important. And just to caveat that, you don't need to train like an athlete. Just moving your body regularly can improve your mental state. So guys, any questions, please put them in the comments. Please like the live, guys, if you are finding value from the session. So can I drink and be fit at the same time? I go gym 4 times a week. So I think it ultimately depends on, look, you can have an element of balance when it comes to exercise and staying fit. It completely depends on what you're drinking. So, obviously, if you're drinking beer regularly, to if you're potentially having something that is less loaded up with calories. But I would just think about it as, you can obviously have a few drinks per week. But I think generally when it comes to alcohol, I don't think it's necessarily the alcohol that is obviously it's going to affect gym results to a certain degree, but I think it's all of once you have a drink, you might go and then get some fast food, which then smashes all of those calories in. So it's not great. So vodka and Pepsi Max when working away. Yeah, I mean, that's absolutely fine. So vodka and Pepsi Max when working away, which is once every 2 weeks. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Look, the most important thing when it comes to fitness is actually having an element of balance. And yeah, try and stay healthy food-wise. That is it. So for 80% of the week, you should be eating healthy. And 20% of the week, you should be letting your hair down a little bit. Actually, indulging in things that you enjoy. If you like a bit of chocolate, if you like a bit of cake, if you like a drink, then look, it is an element of balance. We're not here to be locked up and to think to ourselves, look, we have to be perfect 100% of the time. No one is, and we all need some time off, especially if you're working hard and you're staying on track throughout the week. So hopefully that was helpful. Guys, any other questions, let me know. Need the drink to sleep when staying at hotels. One thing I'd say is, if you struggle to sleep, then what I'd recommend to do is get off your phone 60 minutes before you go to bed actually get into bed earlier, which sometimes is something that I struggle with. But just getting into bed an hour earlier, getting off of your phone, turning off the screens, even if you start reading a book, dim the lights, trust me, you'll be able to fall asleep a lot faster and a lot smoother. But it's a process. Trust me, I'm always battling with trying to go to bed earlier and trying to fall asleep. But it's one of those things. Hope that's helpful. So guys, any other questions, please let me know. It's boring though, and hotel noise sometimes. Yeah, I get it. I understand. But or what you could potentially do instead is listen to relaxing music, something like that. At least it keeps your mind ticking over. I've actually found that to be quite helpful as well. So moving on, what we're going to be talking around now is simple habits that improve your health. So guys, any fitness related questions, please let me know. It's the banging on the doors every so often. I'm a light sleeper. The one thing I'd recommend as well is to actually sleep with earplugs. So I live on a main road. Always used to wake up if someone was walking past or a car was driving past. But sleep with earplugs if you're a light sleeper, and that should help somewhat with sleeping all the way through, hopefully. Any other questions before I move on? Guys, any fitness related questions, please feel free to put them in the comments. If you guys are just joining, we're talking about mental health and fitness. I'm just about to move on to simple habits that improve your mental health. Guys, also as well, if you are joining late, you can catch all of my lives on my YouTube channel. I do upload them there as well. But what we're going to talk about next is simple habits that improve mental health. So if someone asked me where to start in mental health and fitness, I'd say start with small habits. So how do I get to, sorry guys, just a quick question. How do I get to 100k bench? I'm on 95 kg at the moment for 2 reps. So what I would recommend to do is doing 2 reps it's not enough volume. What you need to do is drop the weight down and get a minimum, I would say, of 6 to 8 reps. So instead of doing 95, I'd recommend to drop it down to probably 90 kilos, get a solid 6 to 8 reps out, do that for a few weeks, then try and progress up slowly. But 2 reps is not enough volume. What you want to do is that is great for strength, but you really, really want to bring up a little bit more volume, 6 to 8 reps, and slowly creep back up as you start to get a little bit stronger. But you need to raise up the volume a little bit more. So guys, we're going to move into now simple habits that improve your mental health. I've been doing pause reps from 60 the last 3 weeks. What I would say is I would lift a little bit heavier. You 60 kilos a bit too light. I would say 90 kilos is probably your sweet spot, but it depends on your form. You need to bring the bar all the way down to your chest and really go and contract through that movement. Once you can do 90 kilos, a solid 6 to 8 reps, I'd probably even push it up to the 10 rep range. That's when I'd move up to a heavier weight. But you really, really need to master that weight, because if you can only do 2 reps, you're pretty much near your 1 rep max. So you need to just lower the weight ever so slightly. Pulse reps are good. They're fantastic for increasing time under tension and to, trigger growth. But 60 kilos is too light, and 90 kilos or 95 kilos is too heavy. So you just need to make sure that you can get an element of volume out of those, out of each of your working sets. minimum 6 to 8. So guys, any fitness related questions, please put them in the comments. I'm just answering some of the questions as we're moving through. Generally, what we're talking about at the moment is mental health and fitness. What I'm moving into next is simple habits that can improve your mental health. So if someone asked me where to start with mental health and fitness, I'd say start with small habits. And small habits is something that I've been posting up. So Easy Habits to Improve Your Health is a daily series that I've been posting up over the month of March. But what I wanted to share with you guys now is some examples. So to walk daily a minimum of 10,000 steps, you'd break this up into 3 segments. So a 15 to 20 minute walk in the mornings, a half an hour to 45-minute walk at lunch, and then a walk in the evenings once you've had your dinner. I know in the UK it's quite difficult at the moment because it gets dark, maybe around 6:45. But generally, as the evenings start to get lighter, you'll feel a lot more motivated to go out and do those evening walks. But you should try and accumulate 10,000 steps. You need to make sure, in terms of another small habit, is drink enough water. Minimum of 2 to 3 litres of water each day. Get enough sleep, so 7 to 9 hours of sleep every night. Limit negative social media. So obviously if you're watching me, you're doing something right. But it's very easy to get caught up and doom scroll on social media. You need to try and get off the phone as much as possible throughout the day, and especially when you get free time in the evenings. Use it for a purpose and then get off of it. Really try and limit your screen time. You guys can come on here every day, see what videos I've posted, leave some likes, leave some comments, and then you can log off. And the last small habit is moving your body regularly. So this doesn't mean going to the gym or lifting weights. This can literally just be steps, light stretching, or cycle on those lines. A lot of people try to change everything all at once, especially if you're a person who's trying to get fit for the new year. And if you are still on that track, fantastic if you've kept up with it. If you haven't and you've fallen off, don't worry about it. The year is long. You can still get fit this year. Please let me know if there's anything I can help with. But a lot of people try and change everything all at once. That's generally why they hit a bit of a brick wall. But the key is small, consistent habits. And guys, for you guys watching this, what's one habit you're trying to improve right now? Would be good to know. So we've got one key topic to cover, which is motivation and mindset. And then we are going to close out the session. So guys, if you're liking the session, please like the live. Feel free to ask any fitness related content or questions in the comments. I'm more than happy to answer them as we're moving through. So now we're going to move into motivation and mindset. So one thing that stops people from starting fitness is motivation. The truth is motivation comes and goes. What matters more is discipline and routine. So some days you'll feel motivated, some days you won't. But if you build the habit of showing up, even when you don't feel like it, that's where real change happens. And just as a bit of a personal share from my side, I don't feel motivated to go to the gym pretty much 80 to 90% of the time. That is me being completely honest. I don't spring out of the bed. I don't spring down to the gym, but I show up consistently because because I'm disciplined and it's part of my routine. And I know at the end of the workout, once I'm on the way home and I'm walking back, I'm so happy I went and done that. Now I feel like I've accomplished something, which is great. So you're not always going to feel motivated. And if you don't feel motivated a lot of the time, then trust me, I can completely relate with that. We're all human beings. And when it comes to mental health and mindset, remember it comes down to once you complete the workout, it releases good endorphins, which is a chemical in your brain. So it gives you that feel-good feeling. So the hardest part is literally just turning up. If we all just turn up, you'll get the workout done, I promise you. So just as a quick roundup, firstly, I just want to thank everyone for joining today's live. Thank you very much for giving your time on a Wednesday evening. It's my pleasure to run through this with you guys. Your mental health is just as important as your physical health. Really key takeaways is to start small, be consistent, and don't compare yourself to others. Remember, we all have different starting points. The most important thing that you can do is focus on yourself and worry about what you're doing every day. Consistency and routine wins. And guys, I will be back on Sunday with my next live at 7 p.m. If you guys have got any fitness related questions, please feel free to DM me, ask me questions. I'm more than happy to help you guys with getting fit in 2026. Thank you guys again for your time. Have a lovely rest of the evening, and I'll speak to you guys soon.